Hey guys, it's Justine here from I Should Read That, and I am bringing back the reading vlog, finally. So in February, I moved into the place that I'm currently in, and in just like the craziness of trying to move, I just stopped doing reading vlogs. They take a lot of effort and they take a lot of time, and I just sort of fell out of the habit while we were moving and everything, so I'm trying to bring them back now, and we'll see how this goes. This week is kind of crazy because not only am I planning to pack for my holiday that I'm going on with my family next week, I'm also wrapping up my current job because I've been promoted and I'm going to be starting a new job when I get back from holiday, and just like trying to read and juggle blog tours. I'm trying to do this thing that Kitty G is doing where she will read any book that kind of comes into the flat, whether it's a review copy or a book that she's bought within 6 weeks. So we're trying that out. It's going well so far, which is good, but I also have been like just inundated with book posts lately. I think it's kind of like stopped by now, so I'm gonna have a lot of reading to catch up on, which is the reason that I'm reading 4 books right now. First book that I'm reading is The Rising Storm, and this is by Sari A. Lowe. It's Sari, or it's Carrie, or it's something else. I apologize. I'm gonna ask the publicist how to say this. And this is from Bookouture, which is a independent publisher in London. So they asked me if I wanted to review this book, and it's a YA dystopia, and I said, yeah, sure, because dystopias either work really, really well for me, or they work a little bit less well. It just really depends on, I think, the world, and I have to say, I started this on the bus when I was coming home from work, and I'm already 42 pages in for about a 45 minute bus ride, and I almost missed my bus stop. So I think that says some pretty positive things about this book. So the dystopia in this book is due to weather phenomenon, which I think is really interesting. And sort of at one point, the weather just kind of goes absolutely insane and destroys the world as we know it. This book takes place in London, and London has been destroyed. It's really interesting so far. I'm really fascinated by this. I think that this is going to be a really great read, especially if kind of the pacing and the excitement keeps up. Next book that I'm also reading is Every Heart a Doorway. This is by Shauna Maguire. This is the first novella in the Wayward Children series. I am loving this so far. It's funny because it's very short. I think I'm on page 80 of like 160 something. So I'm almost halfway through already. It's really absorbing. It's about a sort of school for wayward children, so the usually girls who have gone through a doorway, a portal to another world, and ended up in sort of some fantastical land and have been kicked out or sent away for whatever reason. And so the ones who are having trouble letting go of the places that they've been to go to this particular school. I think that this is wonderful so far. I'm really liking it, and sort of things have kind of kicked up a little bit in terms of the plot, and I think that this is going to be fantastic. And I also have the next 2 books in the series as well, so I'm very much looking forward to reading all of them. The next book that I'm reading is from my Yelk TBR, and I have been really bad about this one because I should be reading it on Kindle, and I keep forgetting that I have a hard copy of it from the FairyLoot box. So this is The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert, and I am about 25% into this book, and I was loving it, and then I put it aside to finish off some other books, some review copies and things like that. It's really interesting because a lot of people say they love the beginning like I do, but then once they kind of get further into the book, they fall a little bit out of love with it. So this should be really interesting because I think that this is fantastic so far. I'm really liking it, and I'm very curious to see where it goes. And last of all, I don't have a copy here with me, but I'm also reading Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. I love Uprooted so much. It's one of my favorite books. It got me out of this horrible reading slump when I was in grad school, and I have been desperately awaiting her next book, which is Spinning Silver. Both of these books are standalone, so they're not like in a series together, so you can just pick up Spinning Silver if you want. I am like loving it so far. The problem is that I have it via NetGalley, so I have a digital copy. However, and I know I'm not the only one, a lot of people have had this problem, something is wrong with the Kindle file, so I can read it on my iPad or my phone or my computer screen, but I can't read it on Kindle, and quite frankly, reading on those other screens really, really makes my eyes hurt and can sometimes give me migraines, so I'm trying to not do that, but it also means that I just am not getting through this book very quickly. So those are the 4 books that I'm reading right now. I'm slightly overstretching, but that's okay. I have until, Saturday before I'm gonna go go, and I'm gonna go on holiday, and I have a whole nother set of books which I'm still deciding on what I'm gonna bring, so maybe I'll show that to you guys tomorrow. But for now, I'm trying to make a return to YouTube because I have just not felt like filming anything lately. I've been so tired, I've been a little under the weather, and just like so much is going on, I just haven't filmed anything. So I'm gonna edit a video, which I tried to post yesterday and turned out to be really terrible. I'm gonna re-edit that, and then I'm going to edit another video as well, and then maybe film something, but maybe not. We'll see how it goes. So I'll check in with you guys tomorrow and hopefully have some kind of update on that.
Hooray, hooray, hooray. It's Sophia. So it's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. We're getting closer and closer to holiday, aren't we? Well, I am. Anyway, Sophia's not coming with me. But I made some really good progress today on reading, and I got some book posts. I'm really tired right now, so I'm a little bit fuzzy. But I read some books and I got some book posts, so let's go ahead and take a look. So I am pretty sure I know what this is. I am going to be doing the blog tour for this book, if it's what I think it is. So I hope it is what I think it is, because my blog tour slot is on the 28th and it is currently the 19th, so it is! Hooray, hooray! I am very, very excited about this. So this, if I can get it out of the package, is, hold on, aha! Raven Cry. This is Raven Cry by Ed McDonald. This is the follow-up to Blackwing, which came out last year. And if you've been around this channel for a little while, you may know that Blackwing was one of my favorite books of 2017, and I can post a link to that video where I talk about it a bit more. But I loved that book so much. I thought it was really fantastic. So I'm very excited to be part of the blog tour for Raven Cry, which comes out on the 28th of June. So this is going to be really exciting. I don't know anything about where this story continues, because I felt like the first one sort of finished itself off quite nicely into not a contained story, but it tied up a lot of loose ends, but we're still kind of interested to find out what's going to happen next. So I'm very curious about this, particularly the fate of one of my favorite characters. So I am going to try to start this up as soon as possible, because as I said, I'm going to be on the blog tour. My day is actually on the 28th, so this should be fun. This might be one that I end up taking to France with me, because I really need to read it as quickly as I can. I've been trying to plan my holiday TBR, which is sitting up there, but it's going to change because of the inclusion of this book, but I'm not mad. As I mentioned earlier, I did finish a book today, and that was Every Heart Adore by Shauna Maguire, and I, loved this book so much. Like, it's perfectly exactly what I want. It's just I don't know, I never feel this way, but it's almost like I feel like this book was written with me in mind, and I really just, I loved it so much. I know it's not going to be for everyone. It does have some kind of horror elements. There's quite gory stuff that happens in this, but I loved it so much. And I've read the synopsis for the next two books, which I do have, and I cannot wait to read them, and I can't wait to continue on with this world. I loved it so much. I'll talk about this more. I might do a full review of the whole series when I finish it, but seriously, I would highly, highly recommend this if it sounds like your thing. My project for the evening is to keep reading The Rising Storm, so I am on page 90. I'm hoping to get to 150 today. I feel like I'm going to try to divide up my reading in such a way that I can have it done for Friday, so I don't need to bring this with me on holiday, and that will really, really help me out with this whole holiday TBR situation that I've got myself into. I'm already on page 90. I want to get to 150 tonight. We'll see how that goes, but I think it's going to be very, very achievable. And I'm probably going to go to bed because I am exhausted. Dax, the little black cat who you don't see on video very often because she doesn't like to be held, likes to now wake up at 5 a.m. and scream her head off in the hallway, and then if we get up to go pay attention to her, she runs away and hides under the sofa. So we're really both so tired and cranky at the moment, but we are cat parents now, so I guess we just have to deal with it. Hello and happy Friday! So I missed Wednesday because I fell asleep at 8:30, so there's no way that was happening. And yesterday I actually had some technical difficulties, so we skipped 2 days. It's Friday today. I am home from work because I am no longer working, technically. I have all of my holiday, and then I'm going to be starting my new job on not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday afterwards, I think. So I'm just kind of home. I'm just kind of like hanging out by myself, and it's really nice. I did a bunch of shopping for holidays, so I got some new clothes and I got shoes and I got this giant floppy hat, which is amazing. And I ended up doing a little bit of food shopping for the rest of the day, and it's been a good day so far. Also, if I get up and like flee at any point during this, it's because my FairyLoot is here. It's supposed to be delivered sometime within the next like 3 hours. So I'm like on edge, like staring at the door and keep opening it and closing it to check and see if the guys left it behind. It's not here yet though. So I am still working on Raven Cry, which I started the other day. I was supposed to start it on, Wednesday, I think. I tried and I read a couple pages and then I fell asleep. But Thursday, I did make some serious progress. So I'm on page 112 right now. This is really good so far. I really liked Blackwing last year. It was one of my favorite books of last year. This is proving to be a really great sequel. He's a very talented writer, so I'm really enjoying this. There's a dog going crazy outside, and all of our windows are open because it's really hot. Sorry, but I am enjoying this. It's a really fun and kind of fast read. It's exactly what I would have expected from a sequel so far. So I'm hoping, like, I'm 100 some odd pages in, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to finish this maybe before tomorrow. That's not going to happen before I leave because it's one less book to bring on holiday. I have figured out my holiday TBR by now. It's still more of a short list than anything else. I am bringing a slightly larger suitcase than usual to accommodate one book in particular. So this is what I'm planning to bring with me on holiday when I'm basically just going to read the entire time. I've decided that I probably will bring The Rising Storm with me because, again, I'm halfway through. I'm on page 185 out of like 340 something. So it seems so silly to just like leave this and not finish it as soon as I can. It just didn't make any sense. And I'm in the middle and it's getting really exciting. So I'm going to bring this one with me. And I've got City of Blades. Oh, I'm so excited. This is by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is the second book in the Divine Cities trilogy, which starts with City of Stairs, which is one of the best things that I've read this year. I loved City of Stairs so much. I tried to summarize it and like talk about how much I loved it in a wrap up. I think maybe March or April's wrap up, and I just couldn't do it because it's one of those books that I can't like put into words how much I loved it because I loved it so much. But this is the second book and I'm really looking forward to it because this focuses on another female character who I love so much. I'm really excited to read this. I'm hoping to read this one and the third one, which I have just up here, before August because my book club is going to be meeting up again and we're going to be talking about the whole trilogy instead of just the first book, and so I'm very excited about this. This is definitely coming with. I'll probably read this first. Then we have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This is by Taylor Jenkins Reid and I'm so excited to read this because everyone has been talking about this book and I've had such a hard time trying to get my hands on it. I don't think they have a UK, they don't have a UK publisher. This is Washington Square Press. So I just haven't been able to find it in bookshops really, so I had to order it online, but I'm hoping it's really worth it. I don't like ordering books online, but this looks amazing and fabulous, and it's kind of like old Hollywood glamour. So I want to read this, my sister wants to read this, and my mom wants to read this, so I have to bring it with me so that we can all kind of read it together. Then we have Adrift, and this is by Rob Bofford. So this is one of the review copies that I received at the very beginning of June, and this is one I'm very, very interested in. It's kind of like, it sounds kind of like a survival type story on a tourist cruise ship in space, and sort of everything goes wrong, and it sounds awesome and really fun. I've been seeing a couple of really good reviews for this book so far, including one of my particular like trusted blogger friends. Really, really enjoyed this. So this is one that I'm very curious about. It's also the first review copy that I've received from Orbit, so I want to make a good impression and read it and review it really soon. So next up is one that is slightly embarrassing for the story behind it, but it also looks amazing and super cute and fun. This is Bodacious the Shepherd Cat, The Charming Tale of an Extraordinary Cat by Susanna Crampton. So he is a cat that lives in Scotland and is a sheep herding cat, which is amazing. And this is like his story told in like his voice. And I think this is going to be hilarious and wonderful and really cute. But on Twitter, the publisher reached out to me and were like, hey, we see that you really like cats. Would you like to review this? And I was like, oh God, I really need to tone it down because I am very, very cat obsessed. So this looks amazing. This looks really cute, and I think it'll be a really good, fun summer read. It's not very long, and I've had a peek. It's gonna go by really fast. It's told in kind of like this very cute and charming style, so I'm looking forward to this. This is gonna be a really good holiday book. The last book that I want to bring with me, and this is the reason that I'm bringing a larger suitcase, is because I would like to read Empire of Silence. And this is by Christopher Rocchio. I think he has a pronunciation guide on his Twitter about how to say his last name, but I didn't check that. I didn't think to check that before I started this, so I apologize if I'm saying it wrong. I'm going to double check it later on. So this looks amazing. This book looks truly, truly amazing, and I have had a skim of the first few pages, and it just sounds perfect. So this is basically the story of a man named Hadrian, and he's kind of, depending on who you're talking to, he's either a great hero or he is a murderer. So it's kind of all about his life, what he did, and sort of the after effects of that. So this is really cool because it is very much combining fantasy and science fiction, which is something that I don't think you see very often in a really kind of blatant way. Like Star Wars is both fantasy and science fiction, but I feel like the lines there are a little bit blurred. This is like science fiction spaceships with fantasy swords. Like, this sounds really, really cool. It's also really long, so this is what, 700? It's just over 800 pages if you include the glossary, which is quite impressive. I desperately want to read this. It's out on, I think it's the 4th of July. This says July 5th of July. It's July this year, and I really, really want to read it. It looks amazing, and I've seen some of my friends read it and review it and just like loved it so much. So I'm very excited for this. So that's my holiday TBR, and I'm really excited for this holiday that we're going to be going on. I'm basically just going to read the entire time, which sounds amazing. But because I didn't get a chance to film yesterday, I really quickly wanted to mention I went with one of my friends from work and with Judith from Chain Interaction, who's one of my blogging friends and does amazing, amazing book reviews. We went to Joanne Harris's signing in Oxford yesterday for the Testament of Loki, and it was amazing, and it was so much fun. She's such like a wonderful speaker, and she like has this way of kind of capturing the audience, and she's so incredibly nice. So I'm really glad that we ended up going. I ended up buying 2 of her books. So I got, if you didn't know, she wrote Chocolat, which is like the movie. I think this is spun off like a bunch of other books as well. I've never read this. The only ones I've ever read are The Gospel of Loki and The Testament of Loki. But of course, attached to The Gospel of Loki and The Testament of Loki, we have the Rune Marks series. So this is Runelight. This is the second one. I already own Rune Marks, so I ended up buying these 2 while we were there. I also asked her to sign 2 books. So she signed Chocolat for me, which is really lovely, and she also signed my proof copy that I like begged the publisher to send me, and I'm so excited to get, which was so kind. And I like her anyway. She's quickly becoming a favorite author, even though I've only read a couple of her books, but there's something about her, I think. She's just a very sort of warm and friendly person. I really like the way that she talks about her writing and her influences and whatnot. So I was so glad to be able to meet her, and I'm really glad that I ended up getting the chance to read The Testament of Loki. I loved this book. If you didn't see my April wrap-up, I think it was my April wrap-up, I like flipped over this book. I thought it was amazing. It's a really weird, it's a little strange, but it's so good. So I highly recommend this if you haven't read it, but read The Gospel of Loki first for a better kind of picture of what's going on. That's it for today. At least for now. I still haven't heard the post guy with my FairyLoot box, so I'm gonna go stand by the door for another couple of hours and see if he shows up. So I was totally about to start filming something else, but my FairyLoot box came. So I am so excited for this. I haven't been hugely impressed by the past few months. I think March and April were kind of letdowns. I don't really remember what I got, but I remember not being hugely impressed. I was actually going to cancel my FairyLoot, but the May box was really great, and I really loved that. And I think I know what book this is, which is one I'm really looking forward to. So I am going to hope that this stays in the vein of the May box, because that was really great. I liked that one a lot. I can never actually wait to open these because I have no patience, so I never do unboxing videos anymore because I get to just kind of tear them open as soon as humanly possible. So I'm gonna do this now. So, hooray! So, oh, right, okay, so this is the Rebels in Ball Gowns one, and this is the spoiler card. So I'm not actually going to look at this quite yet. So the first thing I see is a candle. Oh, I'm really glad they're doing candles again, because this is the only way I get candles. I don't like to buy them on my own, and these are so much cooler than the ones I would buy anyway. So this is, I can't actually read what this is because it's in a really fancy font, but it looks like it's a Nevernight candle, which I've actually never read, but I really like this. First of all, I love pink. I'm obsessed with pink. And I really like these kind of like multicolored candles. Right, so this is a Geeky Clean candle, and I really like Geeky Clean stuff. I like their candles as well because they usually have a really kind of stronger scent, so you actually can smell it when you're burning it, which is very nice. And this is, yeah, a Corvair candle from Nevernight. Again, I've never read it before, but this is really cool, and I really like this. It's a series I want to read. I've never read any of his books, which is really annoying because I know I'm going to love him. I've just never gotten around to it, but I have Nevernight. And I also have Illuminae. They're two books that are very high on my list that I just haven't read yet. Right, what's next? This. It's making some kind of noise, and it's in a little FairyLoot box. Maybe it's like a chain or something? Let's see. Oh, that's so cute! Oh my god. Okay, so this is really cool. So this is like a little masquerade mask necklace. I love this. This is so cute. Oh my god. Oh, this is so cute. I love this so much. I'm gonna wear this for the rest of the times. Right, I want to know who did this because this is amazing. So this just says that it's done by the FairyLoot team, and it's a nickel-free masquerade mask necklace. So let's see what else we've got here. There's like, in all the FairyLoot boxes, you get like this kind of purple stuff that's kind of like filling, and the cats love this, and it's going all over the floor. So they're gonna have a really fun time. Right, what's this? This must be a pillowcase. So it says, your future can be whatever you wish. We all have the power to choose our own destiny. So it looks suspiciously like Caraval by Stephanie Garber, which is a series that I have mixed feelings about, but I also really like the aesthetics of it. So I love this pillowcase. The only other pillowcase that I've gotten from FairyLoot is a Sarah J Maas one, and I hate Sarah J Maas with a fiery passion. So I am really glad that I've got another one because I have a super cute reading chair, and I can put pillows on it, and I don't have any pillowcases, so this is perfect. Next we have this looks like an iron-on patch, and this is the Selection, which is a series that I both love and hate because it's terrible, but it was so fun to read. So this says, it's always the fear of looking stupid that stops you from being awesome, which honestly is quite true, I think. So this is by Ink and Wonder Designs. So next up, okay, so this is kind of cool. These are magnetic bookmarks from Shatter Me, which is a series that I have not read yet, but plan to at some point. I'm sure you guys will recognize who these characters are. I don't know who they are yet. Next is this looks like maybe a chapter sampler for a book called The Sea Witch by Sarah Henning, which actually I have a copy of on my Kindle from NetGalley, and it is a fairy tale retelling of The Little Mermaid from the Sea Witch's point of view, from Ursula's point of view, and I am like, yes, I'm so excited. So this is really cool. I'm not going to read it because I have the book on my Kindle, and it's something that I'm hoping maybe to read on holiday, but you saw how many books I'm planning to bring, so I don't know if it's going to happen. Next is a reading journal. It says July to December 2018. Let's see, so okay. This has actually opens with, I think this is the same, no, it's not the same quote, from Caraval. Every person has the power to change their fate if they're brave enough to fight for what they desire more than anything. So this, okay, so the month that this is so, oh my god, this is so helpful. I might base my, what's it called, my bullet journal on this. So it's books I read, and like the little illustration thingy, and then it has book title, author, start, end, and rating. This is so handy. Oh my god, this is so cool. Like a spot for quotes, a weekly planner. This is amazing, and it's split up for the months, and it's got all of these quotes in between. This one says, hope is the only thing stronger than fear. This is actually really awesome. I love this so much, and I just spotted at the back there's anticipated 2019 reads, which will be really helpful as well because I'm so bad at keeping track of that. So this box is seriously winning me over so far. I'm really happy with this one. So last up we have the book for this month, and as I said earlier, I'm pretty sure I know what this is. I think this was one of the ones that was fairly obvious, but I might be wrong. We'll see. Yes, I was right. This is Grace and Fury, and this is by Tracy Banghart. So this is really cool. I don't know if this is a paperback in the UK, but this is a hardcover edition. Look at those end papers. My God. So this book looks really cool. It says here, in a world where women have no rights, sisters Serena and Nomi face very different fates, one in a palace and the other on an island prison where women must fight to survive. Serena has spent her whole life preparing to become a Grace, selected to stand by the heir of the throne as a shining example of the perfect woman. But her headstrong and rebellious sister has a dangerous secret, and one wrong move could cost both sisters everything. This sounds awesome, and I'm very, very excited for this. I think that this is going to be a really amazing book. I'm not always 100% sold on some of the choices for these books, but I think that this is going to be awesome. I'm really, really looking forward to this. I love everything that has to do with sisters because my sister and I get along really, really well. We're like best friends. And so I would love to see more books, especially young adult fantasy, that have sisters and good sister relationships in them, which it sounds like this one might repair itself at some point, so we'll see. But as always, it comes with a signed book plate, which I will go ahead and stick in here at some point later. And I believe there's also a bookmark with the artwork for the month. So I love these bookmarks. They're actually one of my favorite parts about the FairyLoot box. So I think that this was a fantastic box. Really, May and June have been amazing, and it sounds like they're just going to keep getting better, just judging from what they've released so far. So I'm really, really happy I ended up getting this. I'm really happy I ended up getting this before I leave for holiday, and it won't sit in my apartment for a week, desperately waiting for me to open it. It is Friday evening, and I'm going to wrap up this reading vlog so it can go up tomorrow on Saturday. So I've done no reading whatsoever today, which is really sad, especially for someone who's kind of like desperately trying to get through so many books right now. But I am completely packed. I have cleaned the flat for the most part. I've done like everything that I need to do. I've got a bunch of videos edited, filmed, uploaded, everything, and I'm gonna have this edited and uploaded for tomorrow. I've also finished all of my obligations for next week because I had blog tour obligations, so like, yes, it's been a busy day and I'm very, very tired. So Ravencry is still kind of my main read right now because I'm still working on it, but I am 112 pages in, as I said earlier today, but I'm going to settle down with this one, and I think I'm also going to be reading this while traveling to London tomorrow, and then sort of throughout the day tomorrow, because I'm going to be staying with author sister, and author sister and Scottish fiance really want to watch the football, and while I love the World Cup and I very much get caught up in World Cup fever, I'm not really feeling it right now because I have too much reading that I need to do. So tomorrow should be a really, really good day for reading, but I will not be able to do any reading vlogs while I'm on holiday because I just don't want to vlog while I'm on holiday. So there won't be a new reading vlog up next week, but there should be one the week after. So if you see any videos come up, I will not be able to respond to comments and things like that because I will be floating downriver in France. It's going to be very nice, but I'll get back to you when I return. So it's been really, really weird trying to get back into kind of like the reading vlog vibe. I feel like it's been tough. It was tough at the beginning. I felt like the very beginning of this was very much me like just pretending it was kind of any other video instead of being a little bit more myself. But I feel like I'm enjoying this. I like doing this. So I'm definitely gonna try to continue to do them and sort of keep them coming as I read. Also, once July is out of the way, because July is going to be another busy month, I am planning some kind of new and exciting things for this channel. I really want to kind of kickstart things and get them going, so keep an eye out for that. So in the comments below, let me know what you read this week, if there's anything particularly great that you really enjoyed, if you bought any really good books, or if you've read any of these books that I've talked about. If you enjoyed this video, then I post bookish content to this channel fairly frequently, and I'm going to be having even more reading vlogs coming. So definitely hit subscribe, and I will see you next time.